Welcome back to the SAGU Sports Network. We are ready for the second half here. SAGU leading 28-3 as they prepare to take the second half kickoff. Again, nursing a 25-point lead, all 28 points coming in quarter number one, rather, and then, of course, held off the scoreboard in quarter number two. So the Pioneers have to feel good coming out on defense here, being able to shut out this potent Lions offense in the second quarter. We'll see how they've adjusted here, as well as SAGU, the offense. They have to do something to get some more points on the board. No lead is comfortable, especially in conference play. As the kick is up, it's Pooch. It's going to be fair caught at about the 35-yard line, which is where C.J. Collins and the SAGU offense will take over, brought in by Eric Berry.
And now look at these first half stats here. SAGU obviously up 28-3, but look at those rushing yards. Over 100 rushing yards for Wayland already. SAGU with only around a 70-yard advantage in total yards, but the two big stats, well, obviously the penalties stand out, 5 for 48. You don't see the turnovers on the screen right now, but 3 turnovers for the Pioneers. Third downs, SAGU has yet to convert a third down. That's pretty crazy. They've done all their damage on first and second. Yeah, like you said, the SAGU needs to get some more points on the board. I don't know if 28's winning today. They need to get some more points on the board.
Collins back to pass, and just like we saw them do on the opening drive for the SAGU offense, these quick passes, we saw one right there. They were able to drive right down the field on their first offensive drive. Looks like they're going to try to continue it.
This really does look like a mirror of what we first saw.
Collins lining up with Ricky Bickham in the backfield, who's had a very solid game rushing the ball, has a touchdown, as well as J.P. Lowry, both with touchdowns on the day. But Bickham able to find the holes and bounce it where he's supposed to. Here is Bickham bouncing it up the middle, and there he is. Look out, he's dangerous. He's got speed. Can he win the foot race? He's got one man to beat. Can he get the corner? He is still on his feet, down, out of bounds at about the 3-yard line inside the 5, and there we see it, the explosiveness of Ricky Bickham.
And he's still upset with himself after that run. He wanted to get in the end zone. Just watch how much speed he has. He is being matched from the side. He's got safeties and cornerbacks coming in on him. He is still outrunning them and finally gets forced out at the 3-yard line. Yeah, Ricky Bickham. I always say with Lowry and Rickham, it truly is thunder and lightning, and Ricky was the lightning right there.
There you see it laughing because it's a tremendous run by Bickham, but he's not going to get the shot at the touchdown.
I think deep down he knew if he got down to the 3, they're going to bring Lowry out with the heavy set, so he knows he's not getting the touchdown now. He was that upset. He's like, oh, I'm not going to get it.
Collins, of course, handing it off to Lowry, and Lowry keeping his feet, falling forward, backwards into the end zone, and just like that, 1 minute, 15-second drive for the Lions, 3 plays, and they're into the end zone.
It just happened that quickly. Starting with solid field position, get the big run by Ricky, and as we said, Wayland had found some solutions for this SAGU offense up until this moment. Only a minute, just over a minute into the second half, SAGU has pushed their lead, barring the extra point, which is up and good, to 35-3, and they do it on the ground, primarily on the ground on this drive.
Just like that, you said you're not sure if 28's going to do it today for the Lions, and they answer you. 3 plays, and they put another score on
very
the board.
quickly. Because, I mean, the reason I said 28 isn't going to do it, even though you're looking at 3 points for Wayland, they've been so close. Looking over the drive chart here, they had a punt in SAGU territory. They had an interception in SAGU territory. They had to settle for a 51-yard field goal. They had a fumble in SAGU territory, and then the half ended with them at midfield. Like Frank Tristan said before the half, they're dumping yards on us. They're getting yards on us. They're just not scoring. You know, we've had some bounces go our way. We've had some fumbles. We've had some penalties that have all gone our way. You can't bet on that for 30 more minutes. That's why it's so crucial to come out of the gate, put 7 more on the board, really start to put away Wayland Baptist.
And he used some maybe harsh words, but they're correct. They were bailed out by this Wayland Baptist team. Penalties and turnovers, drives just stalling out when seemingly all the momentum was in their favor. Harsh words, but very true. Bailout for this Lions offense.
And that's what you need. That's what you need in the locker room when you're up 28-3 and the number 22 team in the nation. You don't want to go in there and say, "Hey guys, it's all roses, it's all sunshines and strawberries. Let's just keep rolling." You need to go in there and say, guys, let's fix this up. And guess what? They have. Minute 15 in, and they're up by 32.
TH's kick is going to be let into the end zone and out the back. That's going to be a touchback, and the Pioneers are going to bring it up to the 25, where Danny Campos and this Pioneers offense will take the ball and attempt to formulate their first touchdown drive of this game. Again, their only score, it comes off a 50-yard field goal.
And they put up the yards. They are nearly halfway to over a 400-yard game. When you put up that, when you put up over 200 yards and have to settle for 3 points, that's just devastating.
Here is Campos. Hands it off to Freeman. Freeman trying to bounce it to the outside, makes a man miss. And he's going to pick up 4 on first down, making it 2nd and 6.
And that rushing attack kept finding its footwork in the first half. But SAGU would always seem to come up with the stop when they needed it to make it 2nd and 12, 3rd and 11, whenever it was, to force the pass.
Campos now back to pass. Looks to his right, now back to his left. He's going to throw it deep here, testing Carl Morgan. It's caught by Matt Williams, but well out of bounds. Very good coverage by Carl Morgan. Didn't give him a single chance to breathe.
Definitely not. They're just finding no luck on the sidelines, and he would have been out of bounds anyways. Everybody was out of bounds. No real chance out of play. So now a 3rd and 6, and Wayland was 2 for 8 in the first half. That's 25%, a notch above what SAGU is allowing on the season.
Here is Campos. Instant pressure rolling out to his right, looking for his man just past the sticks, and Kobe Roach able to break on the ball and break it up, forcing a 4th down.
Campos is going to have a man underneath here that he has the option to go to, but I think he's afraid he's going to be too short of the sticks, so he never ever throws it. He's got his man wide open at the 30. I don't know, that might have been able to cut back for a first down, but it's Kobe Roach who crashes on the ball and breaks up the pass to Jeremiah Eaton. Eaton, of course, has been pretty much the only offensive playmaker when it comes to the passing game so far. So Wayland will have to punt.
Sam Northey back to return this punt, and it's blocked. Donovan John gets a piece of it, and that's going to be SAGU ball. Assuming they didn't touch it off the block, that's going to be SAGU ball.
I think Wayland touched it first before SAGU touched it. So a blocked punt, yeah, just a
get away from it if you're the Lions.
Everybody gets away from it, and it's first going to be touched. Let's see here. Yeah, Wayland's going to touch it at the 32, so that's where the ball should be marked at around the 32-yard line. The moment Wayland touched it, we'll see where they end up placing it.
Blocked by Donovan John, who brought the pressure, the H-back, showing his special teams fortitude. Able to come up with the punt block, and SAGU is going to start this drive at the 35, so they're going to mark it back quite a little bit. It was initially, like you said, touched at about the 32. But the officials are going to move it back to the 35.
I don't think the Lions are going to quibble too much over 3 yards after another big play. Now on special teams, you've forced 3 turnovers, and a blocked punt is almost the same thing as a turnover. Essentially, it does net some yardage. I guess you can say that. It rolled forward, so essentially it's going to be around a 4-yard punt, something like that. So it does roll forward, but SAGU taking over in Wayland territory, really looking to put some nails in this coffin.
Collins, J.P. Lowry hands it off to him, bounces it out to the outside, cuts it back to the middle. J.P. Lowry keeps the feet churning and picks up 14 on the first down play. Down to the 21.
This is what you want when you're up big in a game. You bring in Bickham, you bring in Lowry. Lowry cutting his way up, dipping over tacklers. Down to the 21-yard line. Just keep that clock moving, keep the ball moving. SAGU is a very hard team to rally on when you have these elite running backs.
1st and 10 from the 21. Collins takes a snap, hands it off to Lowry. Why not? He's been brilliant today. Lowry breaks the tackle and falls forward for about 6 on the first down carry.
I don't think anybody makes 6 yards look easier than J.P. Lowry, especially a contested 6 yards. That's not a Ricky Bickham, hole opens and he's there a half second later. There's somebody hitting him all 6 yards, but he just fights his whole way. Sets up a 2nd and short.
They're going to call it a 7-yard game for J.P. Lowry. And it's going to be 2nd and 3 as Collins has Shelby and Lowry in the backfield, 2 out wide to his left. Collins takes a snap, he's back to pass, looking for the quick slant, nothing there. Has a man in the corner of the end zone. Dotson just out of the reach of the 6'4" receiver. Just barely couldn't get a hand on it.
He had Allen and Dotson in the end zone. I think Allen might have been the better choice, but obviously Dotson's the one you're going to see more than Allen. He just overthrows him. Little too high. Brings up a 3rd and 3, and SAGU, he's yet to convert a 3rd down. They've done such a good job on 1st and 2nd. They haven't needed 3rd down in this game, so this would be a good time to pick up your first one.
And typically, if you hear a team hasn't converted 3rd down, they're usually down on the scoreboard. But like you said, all the damage done on 1st and 2nd down. Quick screen out to Zach Johnson. He's going to find his way down inside the 5-yard line, and we saw that play again in the 2nd quarter. They threw it 3 times in a row, coming back to it here.
This one's a little bit different. Usually he has 2 blockers out in front, just 1 this time for Zach Johnson, but it's more than enough for him.
Down to the 3-yard line.
And sound the red alert. Here comes Matt Leiter in the heavy package coming in for the Lions.
It's actually going to be Justin Allen in there again, looking to maybe get another direct snap as C.J. Collins comes completely off the field.
Also in the game, Samuel Northey. Samuel Northey's going to go out wide along with Marquis Clark.
Here is Allen. Allen is going to take it behind Lowry, and Allen in for the touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. He's got 2 carries for maybe 5 yards total on the day, but 2 touchdowns. That's efficiency from Justin Allen.
Brand new game plan here, and again, just run to wherever Matt Leiter is. Matt Leiter was right up in there, and it looked like he also had J.P. Lowry setting a little bit of a block too. 2 leading blockers makes it easy for the speedster. And the Lions have dominated the opening 4 minutes of the 2nd half. TH's extra point is up. It is good, and it is 42-3. Very reminiscent of the opening game of the year against Howard Payne, where SAGU dominated the opening half, but some late stops, some late affecting of the Yellow Jackets on the Lions made it a closer game at the half than it had been the whole first half. The Lions opened up the 2nd half by dominating them. They do the same thing here in the first 4 minutes, and it is now all SAGU here on a homecoming Saturday. 42-3.
39-point lead for the SAGU Lions. And if you're Wayland Baptist, SAGU came right out in under 5 minutes. Just like a 1-2 punch. 2 touchdowns, just like that.
And again, another week where the Lions defer on the coin toss, get the stop to open the game, then get the ball to start the 2nd half and essentially put the game away with the start of the 2nd half. You know, we've seen a lot of things this year through 6 games with SAGU. What we haven't seen is a close game so far. We've seen a lot of craziness because SAGU's only loss was one that got away from them early against East Texas Baptist. So SAGU playing in a lot of lopsided games right now. Fortunately for them, this is the 5th time they've been on the winning side of one of those. Still plenty of time left on the clock, but if the Pioneers have any hopes of even making this one interesting, it needs to start in the next 48 seconds.
There needs to be a touchdown for the Pioneers on this drive. Absolutely no field goals. They need a touchdown. The kick goes into the end zone. He's going to bring it out from about 6 yards deep.
Why not?
And he's got a chance. He's got a lane here. Gets it out past the 25, down about the 27. So nets about 2 yards off of what would have been a touchback, and there's another scrum here in the middle of the field. No flags yet. It's still going.
Everybody just needs to break up on this one. That's Devontae Hayden's 2nd return. He's had solid returns on both of them, and even 5 or 6 yards deep in the end zone. That's when you say, you know what? If I get stopped at the 15, we're down 42-3. Who cares? Let's go get something. Let's go get something right now. And he does get extra yardage. Takes up to the 32-yard line, so at 7 yards they wouldn't have had otherwise. And now it's just up to Danny Campos and this Wayland offense, who, as we've said, have put up yards, just unable to get the yards when they matter the most. You can get all the yards you want on your own end of the field. Doesn't mean a thing. You need the yards on the other end of the field.
Campos takes the high snap and hands it off, and he is met at the line. Huge hit by Jordan Hall.
Just an absolute clobbering up the middle. Meets his man and just throws him to the ground for good measure. Jordan Hall stuffing that, and now it's a 2nd and long. You take the run option away.
Here's Campos back to pass, looking out in the flat, has Freeman. Freeman can't haul it in. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Pioneers offense, and they cannot get anything going right now.
And they've been okay on the 3rd and short situations. They've been able to convert a couple when they've gotten close, but just too often. And that's the biggest determiner of when you make it on 3rd down. It's not some magic of, oh, teams are always stopping you on 3rd and 1. That's not going to happen. It's when you get stuck in these 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 13 situations where they have been most of the day, and now you're passing against a great passing defense.
Here is Campos back to pass. Has to scramble out to his right. Will he tuck it and run? He will. And he's just going to duck out of bounds, making it 4th and about 6.
That's one of those that you may really try to get the second effort and go fight for. But when you see Kobe Roach coming this fast into your screen at you, you say, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and duck out of bounds at the 39 and call it a day. No reason to sacrifice everything to try to get these extra yard or two that you probably won't even get the extra yards to get to the 1st down. You were still well too short to really make it effective.
Call it 4th and 5 as the punt unit is out after having their last punt attempt blocked by Donovan John. And this time he gets the punt off, and it's a high one. North, he's just going to settle underneath it, call for a fair catch, and haul it in at about the 46. So SAGU set up with good field position again, up 42-3. And if you're the Lions, you're very, very happy right now.
We haven't talked too much about Northy today, but another situation where he goes into a kind of a scrum with guys all around him, but has the wherewithal to make the catch. Here's a score update for you. Texas Wesleyan's opened up a 21-0 lead over Bacone. Texas Wesleyan still looking, I believe, for their first all-time win. Now, they have yet to win a game. This is their first season. They're looking good right now as they start the 2nd half in Fort Worth. The Rams look to be on their way against the Bacone Warriors for their first ever program victory.
CJ Collins in the backfield. With him is Ricky Bickham's quick play action out to Roderick Brown. He spins, tries to look back inside, but he's going to be swallowed up. It's going to be about no gain here as he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I think he's even going to get thrown for a loss of 1 as he cuts back. And, yeah, I guess if they mark him where he got held up, it'll be right at no gain. So nothing doing, but they're actually going to mark him back at the 45, so they're going to call it a loss of 1.
It's really the first time we've not seen a screenplay work for the Lions.
For at least 3 or 4 yards. They've been able to make every screenplay, especially the ones, you know, they've been throwing out there to Zach Johnson, work for 3 or 4 yards at the least.
Collins hands it off to Bickham, and Bickham is met now at the line for no gain. He's going to be wrapped up at about the 45. And they're going to call it 3rd and 11. The Pioneers looking to get their first stop of the 2nd half as SAGU has driven down the field twice in a row and orchestrated again 2 scoring drives.
It's another one of those interesting moments where you start to wonder how much is the wind impacting this game. It doesn't seem to be gale force winds, but the SAGU Lions scored 5 touchdowns heading this direction in the 1st quarter, nothing in the 2nd quarter, and now here they go again in the 3rd quarter.
Collins rolling out to his right. That ball is tipped by the linebacker. He was looking for Jeremy Carr, who was just past the 1st down.
And that's Jared Brown, who's going to break this one up. Just reading CJ Collins' eyes the whole way, gets that hand up, knocks it down. Would have been a tough completion either way, but he knocks it down, and so SAGU will come on for their first punt of the half. And you see the wind. There is definitely a stiff wind, as you said, coming across the field. Is at the Lions' back right now. Should aid in this punt.
Maverick Montiel back to punt for the Lions. Has not done a good job of punting today. We'll see what he can do here with the wind. And that one bounces and brought in
That stayed in bounds somehow. It stuck about a half yard away from out of bounds, bounces in the air and stayed in bounds. That's a good punt. That's a good punt from Maverick.
That's what we want to see. A couple of his punts in the first half, again, they netted 12 yards out as he shanks it out of bounds, but this time able to place it perfectly, and now Wayland Baptist has to start at the 12-yard line.
Getting a little high five there from Samuel Northey, the other big special teamer. Samuel Northey returns the punts, and Maverick punts them away. And it's after a little bit of struggle, he gets a good one there and pins the Pioneers deep with just over 8 minutes left here in the third quarter.
SAGU bringing the pressure here on first down. He's going to try to float it out in the flat, and no, he can't find his man. SAGU looked like they brought 6 on that play.
Just not typical to see the Lions bring that many at all, but maybe they're thinking safety. They're thinking everything else has gone right in this game. Why not get a safety? And what you do is you bring the pressure so quickly, there's no time for the receivers to get open, and he's just going to have to get rid of it. Campos just has to throw it away almost.
The Lions bring 4. Campos rolls out to his right, has a man, and it's almost picked off by Kobe Roach, who almost had one in the first half, but it was snatched out of the air by Carl Morgan. And this time, that's all his, and it just pops out of his hands.
And Malik Sims is going to definitely break up any chance for it. It's going to go through his hands, and Malik Sims finishes it off. So that's the second time we've seen a Pioneer receiver have to turn defensive back and prevent an interception.
Kobe Roach, maybe that's why he's playing safety instead of receiver, as it slips right through the hands. I always hear that comparison. That's why he plays corner. It's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 12 now for Wayland Baptist.
Well, I mean, we've already seen defensive linemen make an interception at the line.
That is also
so we
true.
set a precedent today about what good hands look like.
Campos back to pass.
Look out.
He has to run. Darnell Martin's going to bring him down. He's not going to be in there for a safety. He's going to be marked down at the 1. A flag comes flying in there towards the end of the play.
Definitely in the neighborhood of holding. We'll wait on the call, but if it stands, the ball will stay at the 1-yard line. Another sack.
We have holding on the offense, number 76. Penalty is declined. It is 4th down.
And absolutely decline the penalty because, like you said, Wayland Baptist has to come out and punt from the 1-yard line.
And that's just a muscle sack right there. Darnell Martin blocked. He's blocked at the line of scrimmage, just fights his way through. And now, Caleb O'Connor, he doesn't have any room to work with. He's already had a punt blocked, and the wind's at his face.
Look for SAGU to bring the heat here.
This is what punters dream about at night in their worst nightmares.
He gets it off. Northey's going to bring it in and bobble it at first. He can't quite get on it. He finally picks it up and then brought down by the face mask at about the 30-yard line, and that is an unfortunate break for Wayland Baptist.
And this is just going to be because he's at an awkward situation. The guy coming in for the tackle is still trying to knock the ball loose as Northey just can't get a handle on it. Right here, he's going to come in. He's just trying to get a handle on the ball. His hand's going to get stuck in the face mask, rip him down. I don't think Northey ever had the ball. I think the ball rolled out of bounds, but it's going to be SAGU's ball at the 15-yard line.
Face mask, number 30 on White. 1st down.
And if they mark that at the 30, which they will, SAGU will take over at the 15-yard line. They've already started one time at the Wayland Baptist 19-yard line.
Number 34, 1st down.
So the penalty will be on Jaius Bumpus.
And SAGU already in the red zone. Again, like you mentioned, at the 15-yard line, C.J. Collins takes over with J.P. Lowry in the backfield. Big receiver Dotson has single coverage at the bottom of your screen. Here's Lowry, bounces it to the outside, throws a mean stiff arm. J.P. Lowry takes it into the corner of the end zone after a beautiful stiff arm to put SAGU up 48, barring a TH extra point, 49-3.
Just too easy. That he gets that corner, and no one's going to be able to get there in time. And if you get there, you're not going to have the strength to stop him. So after the punt to the 30-yard line, a 15-yard penalty, to gift the Lions first and 10 at the 15 just takes one play. We saw the Lions haven't taken no time in taking advantage of these mistakes by Wayland Baptist. TH's kick is up and good, and it is 49-3. Whether it was the interception at the end of the first quarter that resulted in a touchdown in the very next play, the interception early in the first quarter that led to almost immediately to the 19-yard touchdown by Justin Allen, I think 1 or 2 plays later. You know, just time and time again. I mean, you already had a setup here in the 35-yard line, on the 35-yard line this half, after another after the blocked punt. So this is the 4th time that SAGU has taken over the ball either in your field position or just beyond it, and they have scored almost immediately every single time.
49-3 for the SAGU Lions here in their homecoming game. The lead over the Wayland Baptist Pioneers, who again just had the punt from their 1-yard line, and that face mask, the defensive face mask penalty, put SAGU on the 15, and all it takes is one play. And the SAGU offense dominating here in quarter number 3.
I feel like we talk about this almost every game, but there are moments that kind of feel like if you just need a screen grab of what this game has been, it was that moment right there. The defense makes a big stop down to the 1. You don't get a great punt because of the wind. A 15-yard penalty gives SAGU the advantage, and they immediately take advantage of it. That's been the story of this whole game in that little 2-play segment.
TH's kick is another long one, and it's going to be not fielded, it's out of the back of the end zone. And TH doing a good job still in the kicking game.
Yep. Devontae Hayden has burned you, not only burned you, but had solid returns twice, so get the ball away from him if at all possible. Now Wayland will take over at their own 25 again. They've started on their own 25-yard line for the 6th time in this game. And that happens when you give up 7 touchdowns. You have a lot of touchbacks.
New quarterback in for the Pioneers is Nick Quintero as he hands off, and it is stuffed.
I believe it's still Campos, actually. I believe Danny Campos is still in the game.
Hard to tell with those yellow numbers on Wayland Baptist. They're so bright.
The sun is starting to, not really set, but it's starting to get behind us in the stadium, and it's a lot tougher.
It is Danny Campos. He hands it off to his man, and he's stuffed for no gain, making it 2nd and 10.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some quarterback changes, though, here in the next 6 to 7 minutes.
Second straight handoff, and he's going to get a good gain, and it's going to net a 1st down. As SAGU linebacker Landon Jones is slow to get up, but he is on his feet.
That's Jarrell Peterson. As again, Wayland has won the occasional battle up the middle. They've been able to gash the Lions for 10, 15, sometimes 25, 30 yards on some of these big runs.
Campos at the delayed handoff bounces it back here towards the middle, and he is met by Landon Jones. A big hit late on Freeman. He's going to get about 5. We've seen that play work a couple of times for the Pioneers offense.
And the SAGU linebackers just stay at home on that situation. They don't come up too soon. Heard Coach Trish at the half say we're looking to the backfield too much. I think that time they stayed at home and waited for him.
Campos hands it off to Freeman again, and Freeman is met just shy of the 1st down marker. And then it's going to draw a flag. The whistles were clearly blowing, and the SAGU defense decided to try to finish the tackle after they had it already blown dead.
Yeah, the ref is only a couple yards away from you. You heard that. You're just trying to really finish the tackle with an emphasis, but instead of a 3rd and 1, you're going to hand Wayland a 1st down here.
We await the call.
We have a dead ball. Personal foul. Number 27 on the defense. Late hit after the play. 15 yards. 1st down.
And it's Michael Mast. Again, they're just wrapping up the running back, and the whistles are blown. The running back's declared dead. You see Mast coming and just turning and throwing. Yeah, just kind of throwing to the ground. Not a very ill-advised play. Looked like the running back's helmet had come off as well. So ill-advised, ill-timed play. SAGU's first real big penalty against him. And it turns out what was going to be a 3rd and 1 at around midfield or around the 45. into 1st and 10 at the SAGU 40.
Campos hands it off to Freeman, and Freeman falls down, and of course that's going to be blown dead and be a loss of 4.
And Freeman is furious with himself. Just down. And if he's able to get around this one blitzing linebacker right here, there is a hole opening up to his left. I think that's what makes him so mad, is he knows if he's able to hold on that ball, do one little dip, he has some yardage.
Here is Jarrell Peterson. He bounces it out to the outside, and he's going to pick up big yardage. And Peterson picks up the line of scrimmage to gain in about 4 more. A good job of getting that yardage he lost back by Jarrell Peterson.
Very good recovery, and now you make a much more makeable 3rd down in what's obviously 4-down territory at this point. 3rd and about 7 yards. Yeah, 3rd and 7 exactly.
Campos hands it off to Peterson again. Peterson tries to make a man miss, but there is Matt Williams, who's done such a good job all season. The leading tackler for the Lions from the safety position brings up 4th and 5.
Nice little spin move here, but when you got a hold of the legs like that, it's too much. You're not going to get out of that. And 4th and 5, the Pioneers offense, they won't even think twice. They're staying on the field at the 35-yard line. They already made a 50-plus yard field goal, but with the wind at their face, wouldn't be much of a chance for that right here.
4th and 5, Campos in the shotgun. He's back to pass. Has to step up. He gets absolutely killed. Looking deep, and there it is. One-on-one coverage. Malik Golden up to the task, calling for a pass interference on the offense. Not going to get it, and the Lions are going to take over on downs.
It's all okay. That's not one you want to intercept anyways. If you intercept it, you have the ball at the 1-yard line. Now you have the 35. So it's all good. Drill, the ball's underthrown, and Malik Golden almost gets the interception, but works out for the Lions that he didn't. They'll take over at the 35. So a turnover on downs and another trip into SAGU territory. Counting it up here, that is going to be the 4th trip into SAGU territory that has resulted in no points for Wayland. They've made 5 total trips into SAGU territory for only 3 points.
C.J. Collins leads the offense back out onto the field. 3.5 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Collins fake to Bickham. Gets tipped out to Roderick Brown, and he can't haul it in. Got tipped on the initial release by the linebacker on the outside.
It's Jared Brown. He had the tip on the last drive, but he almost tips that one right to Brown.
And you kind of, the infliction of my voice is with the crowd on the bench, the kind of bated breath there to see if that ball is going to be caught by Brown.
And what was funny is Roderick Brown almost tipped it enough that the next guy almost got it. So you almost had a double tip interception.
2nd and 10 for the Lions offense as Collins will still have Bickham back there, who Bickham looks to get in the end zone again after J.P. Lowry has been in the end zone but seemingly every drive here for the Lions.
Bickham got the 2nd touchdown of the day. He put the Lions up 14-0, but it's been J.P. Lowry and Justin Allen otherwise.
You know, he wants another one. Bickham trying to bounce it to the outside, gets brought down from behind by Zach Hollingsworth. Brings up 3rd and 9. They're going to call it a gain of 1.
Yeah, J.P. Lowry has run for 3 touchdowns in this game. Justin Allen has run for 2. Ricky Bickham's run for 1. That means you have 6 rushing touchdowns in this game. Just the 1 passing touchdown. That was the 55-yard bomb from C.J. Collins to Brian Dotson at the horn of the 1st quarter. So 55-yard.
Collins fumbles the snap. He's still back to pass, trying to get away from the pressure. He cannot. He's going to be brought down, landing hard on that shoulder. But he looks to be okay. A bad snap maybe just went through the hands of Collins, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Another problem with the snap. We've seen a couple of, the 2nd time we've really seen it, a bad snap. And you know what I thought, just seeing CJ go down like that? I think it might be time to put in some backups. You're up 49-3. You got 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. That's not what you want to see happen at all.
We may see Ty Francis come into the game. He is the backup today for C.J. Collins. Maverick Montiel back to punt. Rolling out to his right again. And the punt is off, and this is a good one. This is what you want to see if you're Montiel. Gets it down to the 21, but very returnable, and he's got a lane here, getting it out past the 40. He's got the whole field to work with. The flag comes flying in, so everything may just be all for naught as he is brought down at the We'll call it the 44-yard line.
And we're going to have another flag come in very late at the top of the field in SAGU's territory. So we got some flags in the neighborhood holding or blocking the back. Then another flag coming in late. We'll see what it does to what was an outstanding return. He's weaving his way through across midfield. Some of the best moments today have been on special teams returns.
Nico Pearson returning the punt that time.
They're going to be walking this ball back.
We have 2 fouls on the play. First, we have on the return.
And we have another
an illegal
foul.
block in the back, number 21 on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
We just heard him say, add an unsportsmanlike coming from the sideline.
I think this is about to go back a long way.
We have a sideline warning on the Wayland Baptist sideline. And now we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the coach. Be another 15 yards. It'll be first down white.
You know, I've never seen a flag thrown while the head ref is actually making the announcement for what the first flags were. But we saw it as he was making the call. The whistle blew again. The flag flew up in the air. So an outstanding return with a block in the back and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is completely erased.
It's essentially a fair catch. They took it all the way back to the 21.
That's where he caught the ball. That's where he caught the ball at the 21-yard line. You erase what was about a 35-yard return set up at your own 21-yard line. Penalties and turnovers are going to haunt Wayland in this one.
Handoff to Romero. Romero rumbles for a first down as he picks up 12 on the initial carry on 1st and 10. Pick up a little bit of that penalty yardage there on first down.
And that's something SAGU's want to try to identify and fix between now and next week. What's going on up the middle right now that's allowing Wayland to get these big bursts of rushes?
Campos is going to hand it off to Romero again. This time is met by Landon Jones as well as number 42, Jordan Hall. And shutting it down this time. Now it's going to be second and about 8.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter.
Campos handing it off to Romero again. Romero met by Landon Jones, and Matt Williams helps to clean up that tackle. That's going to be 3rd and call it 5. 3rd and maybe a long 5, maybe 6.
And this has been really Wayland's problem the whole game. They'll get 10 or 11 yards on one run, then they'll go back to that well and get stopped on back-to-back runs. Now it's 3rd and 8, you know, 3rd and mid, actually 3rd and 5, but 3rd and mid, you know, you're not getting those consistent runs. So it's been feast or famine up the middle.
Campos hands it off to Romero again. Or rather, this is Peterson now. Peterson breaking a tackle, and he is free. Peterson down to the 20, to the 10, into the end zone. Jarrell Peterson coming into the game and finally breaking one.
Like I'm saying, feast or famine, and then there was the feast right there. See how this whole thing develops. She's going to break to the outside. SAGU misses another, he kind of sheds an arm tackle. They're blocked downfield, and no one really reacted. No one really reacted in time. Really wasn't anything amazing that happened on that play other than the fact that he just kept running. The blockers kept being there, and SAGU did not react in time.
And now some confusion. And the Lions were all over the field, and Coach Tristan is going to have to call a timeout. They didn't have the right people on there for the field goal block.
I count 12 guys on the field, and there were 2 more coming off. So that's too many men on the field, 14, before they got the flag, the timeout called.
And even though you're up 49-9 at this point, that cannot make Coach Tristan happy.
No, not at all. Because you kind of might have seen some laziness on that run. You might have seen some guys not giving their whole, knowing what the scoreboard is, not giving their full effort to stop a very nice touchdown run. That is, so for the first time, someone's going to be able to put double digits on you in this conference. You know, you're pitching the touchdown shutout right here.
Yeah, the first time they've let up more than 7 points in conference play this season.
I mean, that's still astounding one way or the other.
Absolutely.
But not what you want to see here at the end of the third quarter, allowing the big run, then just no communication on who's supposed to be out there. I guess you haven't had to cover too many extra points lately. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You haven't been covering too many extra points.
There was a field goal attempt, though, in this game, so you got to think that that's the same unit that should be out there. Well, we'll see. 49-9, barring this extra point by Martinez, and it's up, and it is good. And just like that, the SAGU Lions have now allowed double-digit points, like you said, for the first time this season in conference play. Still a good lead, 39 points. I would call a good lead if you're SAGU, but a moral defeat there as they allow finally. You got to think it's going to come eventually.
Yeah, and because Wayland's been getting some good plays, again, that's going to put them well over 300 yards total offense on this game. The offense has been moving. I guess that was the key. The play had to start on their end of the field, because once they cross midfield, the Lions' defense is nails. There's no getting by them. So you got to start the play on your end of the field and then just weave your way through for the touchdown like they just did. Good recovery by the Pioneers, though, after you have the big punt return taken away off of the penalties to, get the ball back at your 21. You end up reeling off a 79-yard touchdown drive on a 50-plus yard touchdown run. And now with the wind at your face, I'm definitely expecting some variety of onside kick here, whether it's just the real high pooch kick or something like that. Try to get the ball back real fast, see what you can do.
Martinez is out to kick. Daniel Martinez for the Pioneers. And SAGU does have the hands team out there right now. A couple defensive backs. I see a running back out there, Derek Shelby, Xavier Pittman, Matt Williams. So maybe SAGU expecting a potential onside kick here.
At the very least, you don't even give him the leeway. You don't even give him the option.
And here is the kick. It is going to be a short one, fielded at about the 21, and not unable to haul it in. And just like Wayland Baptist is going to fall on it, and they're going to have the ball on offense just shy of the red zone through the hands of the SAGU return man, Eric Berry.
And that is not going to make Tristan happy at all. Just a high kick goes through his hands, rolls away from him, unable to get on top of it.
Michael Bledsoe, rather, back there to get that. And we don't normally see him back there to return kicks. He's not the usual one of those trio return men for the Lions, and just kind of falls right through his arms.
So now Wayland Baptist takes over at the SAGU 21-yard line. Some late third quarter sloppiness here for the Lions has opened the gate for Wayland Baptist to, at the very least, just start adding to that scoreboard, see what happens.
Back to pass is Campos, looking to the corner of the end zone, jump ball, he can't bring it in, and that's going to close out the third quarter with a flag at the end, well after the play was over.
That's definitely in the neighborhood of something on the defense holding or pass interference, but the flag definitely came in very late.
We await the call here as the quarter has ended. That may have come after the play with how late that flag came out. That's a jump ball in double coverage.
They're still deliberating. The teams will shift as Coach Tristan's bringing the whole SAGU team together here on the sideline.
Actually, Devin Petty, the left tackle, brought everybody in.
I think this is just a, hey, it's time to clean up our act. This has gone too far now.
Here is the call by our head official.
Coach, we have pass interference on the defense, number 22. Be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. We have to run one on time down. The quarter is not over. First down.
And rather going to be on Kobe Roach, because number 22 is Blaine Rowe, who is a receiver for the Lions. So they're going to call Kobe Roach for pass interference, and he's not even in the play. If they're going to call it anyway, it should be Carl Morgan.
Not sure what the call there is at all, especially how it came in that late. Not sure what that was at all, but it's a 15-yard penalty down to the 6-yard line. So it'll be first and goal, and there will be an untimed down. So the third quarter is still going on. So Wayland with a chance to tack 2 touchdowns on in the final minute of the third quarter.
Campos with Peterson in the backfield with him. 2 out wide to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to hand it off to Peterson. Up the middle, gets stonewalled, and he's not going to find any rushing room there. And that is going to end the third quarter. But Wayland Baptist is going to come out second and goal from the 6-yard line after that pass interference on we don't know who, but a pass interference call there in the end zone. If anyone, it's on Carl Morgan.
I can't fathom who that's supposed to be on. Aiden Estrada's underneath on a guy, but if that's who you're calling on, it would have been a holding. I don't know what that's all about. That's why you put up a big lead early, so you don't have to question that too much and wonder what's going on.
That's going to bring us to quarter number 4. Again, Wayland Baptist with possession, 2nd and goal from the 6. After, I want to say orchestrating a touchdown drive, but it came off a huge play from Jarrell Peterson on a long run to give Wayland Baptist their first touchdown of the day. SAGU still leading 49-10.
And if you're Wayland Baptist, with things finally starting to swing your way right here, you start to haunt yourself with the bevy of things that went wrong, especially in the first and third quarters. You just change a thing or two, and all of a sudden this is a 35-21 game, and you're down at the 60-yard line, really trying to make it a close one here. As it is, I mean, the game's never over. The game is absolutely never over, and Wayland with a chance to score 2 touchdowns in less than a minute.
Campos in the shotgun, back to pass, looking for the back corner fade, and it is brought in for the touchdown. Beautiful throw from Campos, finds his man in the corner of the end zone.
That's Ben Owen. Ben Owen covered. The ball just gets laid in perfectly. He gets 1 foot down. That's all you need.
That's all you need here in college.
Gets that 1 foot down, so 6 seconds into the fourth quarter, Wayland Baptist is about to make this a 49-17 ball game.
Back-to-back touchdown drives for Wayland Baptist.
And again, in a matter of less than a minute, you have the big run. The kickoff is muffed, essentially, around the 21-yard line. Penalty in the end zone. And now you got, 14:55 left to play. There's still a long ways to go for Wayland Baptist, but let's just say this, if SAGU fumbles every kickoff for the rest of the game, it could get very interesting. That's where it has to start first. Hang on to the ball.
So after back-to-back, let me ask this, after back-to-back touchdowns for the Pioneers, does Coach Tristan take out CJ Collins yet?
At this point, I don't think you can. I think you got to leave him in for the first drive of the fourth quarter at least, and that's one of the benefits of, if you get the ball back and it's still 49-3 in the fourth quarter, then you do just, start putting backups in there. But at this point, you got to kind of leave those starters in for at least one more drive, because as you've seen, there's 15 minutes left. You're up by 32 points, but you just saw 14 points get scored in a minute. So if that happens twice more, then this game it's a ball game.
The regular return men back there for the Lions, and Ricky Bickham, Malik Golden, and Carl Morgan. Again, they run that 3-deep formation on the kickoffs. So much speed back there for the Lions. It's really pick your poison. If you can't get it in the end zone, you got to pick one of these guys to kick it to, unless you pooch it. And I wouldn't recommend kicking any of them.
I would imagine we'll probably see another pooch type kick like we saw last time. Hope for a bounce, hope for a muff.
And the kick is kicked off the ground, and it's muffed again. Can it get out of bounds? It does get out of bounds. Fortunately for the Lions, that ball was kicked off the ground and high enough into the air where it landed just past the outstretched arm of the Lions return man. It was Eric Berry who got a finger on it. And because he got a finger on it, it's not going to be a penalty.
That got a little bit dangerous right there. If that ball had decided to have a mind of its own and maybe stick in at the 27, 28-yard line, Wayland could have recovered another one. And then we might have some fingernail biting around here. This is very good. Yeah, it just tips off his fingers. Honestly, hitting his fingers is what made the ball go out of bounds. So if he doesn't get a hand on it, then you really have a problem. So SAGU will take over at their own 28-yard line.
And we see, indeed, C.J. Collins back out there. Sends Zach Johnson in motion. He's going to hand it to him. Bobbles it again. Can he get around the edge? He can't find any running room, and he is wrapped up by 3 Pioneers defenders for a gain of, we'll call it half a yard, if anything. We've seen that play a couple times today. The exchange between Collins and Johnson just hasn't really been clean.
Yeah, just a little, and luckily he's able to hang on to it. That's the big thing right now, hang on to the ball, but definitely putting some stuff on tape this last quarter and a half to fix things.
2nd and 10, as that was no gain from Johnson. They're set up to run that screen again, and they're gonna do it out to Johnson. He's got blockers down the sideline. He's gonna pick up, say, about 6 on that play.
Almost needs to be a defensive strategy. If Johnson gets the ball once, you know he's getting it twice. It always just seems to come in bursts. And now we have a player down for the Lions.
Devo McNeil looking to stretch something out here as he goes down to his back. And that is not what you want to see for the Lions. Really the anchor of this offensive line, the converted center to guard. He shed about 30 pounds over this past summer, and C.J. Collins, I spoke to him in the preseason, said Devo is the fastest lineman that they have on the team. So the ability to cut the weight and change positions by McNeil has spoken wonders for this offense, and he is able to get up, and he's going to walk off on his own power. So it looks like he should be okay, kind of hanging that arm a little loose there, so we'll see. I can't imagine with a lead like this, McNeil may not see the field again, even if he can play today.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to check out for the rest of the game. Definitely don't like the way he's hanging onto his arm right there. Not what you want to see at all.
We see Luke McBride come in for McNeil as he slides into the right guard position. Collins in the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Fake the handoff, looking for Jeremy Carr. He's got him in motion. Can he beat the corner? Jeremy Carr turning on the Jets, and he's able to find the end zone. C.J. Collins to Jeremy Carr for 68 yards.
This is just a case of Jeremy Carr going from cut to full speed in the blink of an eye. He catches that ball at full speed, so there's no time for anyone to even adjust. Moving across the field, he's going to cut up there, and even with defenders trailing the whole way, no one is going to catch him. The Lions offense responds with a 70-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Carr. Like I said, just as soon as it hits his hands, the next step is him bursting into full speed, and he's gone.
Collins going through his motions and then looking for the CSFL Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week just a few weeks ago, and Jeremy Carr when he had 3 touchdowns. As TH's extra point is good, making it 56-17 in favor of the Lions, getting a touchdown back after Wayland Baptist, again, like you have said, scored two touchdowns within a minute.
And that's exactly what you need. See Jeremy Carr taking a much-deserved breather. Waving, yeah, you're up on the Jumbotron. Hey, there's the camera.
There's Jeremy Carr, J.P. Lowry, Steve Lawson. Then you see Devo McNeil. Looks like he's going to be okay. But all smiles right now for the SAGU offense as they have a 68-yard touchdown play.
And that's what you really wanted to see. More than just, making 100% sure that this game's in the bag. It's what you want to see going forward. You have a couple of breaks go against you. This is one of those games that maybe, all of a sudden a couple touchdowns happen, final score makes it look pretty close or whatever. You come out, you get the quick response on offense with the guys that do it best, CJ to Jeremy Carr. You're back over 50 points again this season. Something that the Lions have now done, I believe, for the 3rd time this year. Third time this year that they've gone over 50 points. They put up 63 on Howard Payne and 54 on Texas College. They've gone over 40 in all of their wins. So when they win, you know they're going to put points on the board.
TH to kick it, but the wind knocks the ball over off the tee. as he's going to have a holder on the kickoff. Rashawn Moore. And the kick by TH is up. It's a short one, fielded in at about the 23. And tries to cut out the middle of the field. He's going to get brought down at about the 33-yard line.
And it looked like there was a little bit of talking going on after the play. And that's one of those kicks, you can just really see the power of the wind going on right now. He hit it with all his strength, and as the ball was rising, it was moving. And once he hit a certain height, it just froze in the air when the wind caught it. And that was all she wrote for that kickoff. So taking over at their own 33-yard line, Wayland Baptist. After finding a little bit of space on offense, let's see if they can keep it going.
Peterson takes the run up the middle. He gains about 3 yards. He's going to bring up 2nd and 7. As Danny Campos remains in at quarterback.
On the day, Wayland Baptist has over 200 yards rushing.
Back to pass is Campos. He's looking deep. He's got a man, and he hauls it in. Down at the 10 to the 5, in for the touchdown. Danny Campos finding his man for a long touchdown. And who else but Jeremiah Eaton, who has had a day today.
Just like that, the Wayland Baptist offense has come to life. All those yards they were gaining in the first half that weren't giving them any scores, now they're getting the scores. Just a beautiful rainbow pass. Eaton right underneath it, walks into the end zone. Another touchdown pass. With that catch, Jeremiah Eaton is going to go for over 100 yards receiving on the day.
The extra point is up and good, making it 56-24. And a flag comes out at the end of the play. A lot of talking being done by both of these teams at the end of plays. We'll see what the head official says here.
I think that play is going to put Wayland at over 400 yards on offense in the game. So they found it. They found it now.
Have a dead ball. Personal foul, number 97 on the defense. Gave a knee to the head. We're going to enforce that on the kickoff. Points are good.
Keelan Rushing gets called for the personal foul at the end of the extra point. And you said over 400 yards. If you look at this, the stat pages as far as yards go, don't look at the scoreboard, don't look at the turnovers. It's not indicative of what this game has been.
We're finally seeing Wayland put the points on the board that they should have from all the yards they've had. And yeah, they could. The current marker is 397 for Wayland. SAGU is only beating Wayland in the yard category, 477 to 397 at the moment, but they lead still by 32 points. And how big is that touchdown for the Lions now? As we're just over 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, that means in less than 3 minutes, Wayland has dropped 21 points on the board. SAGU's defense definitely cannot be happy with what they have seen from themselves. And now they'll be kicking off from the 50, so another golden opportunity for an onside kick for the Pioneers.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, right now is the chance. Again, like you said, kicking off from the 50-yard line, there's no sense in booting it out of the end zone. You want to try for an onside kick here. We can see the SAGU coaches on the sideline signaling to the up men to call for a fair catch if it's in the air. Here is Martinez again from the 50 after that personal foul on the extra point attempt. And there it is. He's going to kick it off the ground. Xavier Pittman goes up to get it. There is a flag. Looks like it's going to be offsides against Wayland Baptist, but it won't matter as Pittman hauled it in. We await the call here from the head official.
Definitely a lot of deliberation on this one, too. I've had plenty of deliberating in this game to make sure they get things right. And they've had plenty of penalties to deal with as well. 8 on Wayland Baptist, 5 on SAGU, with a number of decline penalties out there as well.
Coach, we have an illegal substitution on SAGU. Hold on.
Against SAGU, and we see the head official say, hold on, as he's still not even sure what's going on here.
Well, if in that case, I think it's legal substitution. They'll be allowed to re-kick.
And we have our very own Kristen Urban with newly crowned Homecoming King, Sam Brodus. Kristen, how does Sam feel about winning Homecoming King?
Thanks, Adam. I'm here with Homecoming King Samuel Brodus. Samuel, what does Homecoming King mean to you?
We had 2 players
honestly,
with
it's an
number
honor
23.
just to think that all my classmates would look at me in a certain
It's a 5-yard
way, to
penalty.
think that I deserve an
We'll
award like
re-kick.
this. So it means a lot. I really appreciate everybody.
What is one of your favorite SAGU memories?
I honestly have to say this semester, God's just moved all the right people into my life, and I just have such quality friends, and I just appreciate, every single day, and I've just been enjoying life, so definitely.
Thanks, Samuel, and congratulations. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Kristen. I know Sam. Every answer he just gave is genuine. One of the best guys you'll meet on this campus. I've played a lot of basketball in my years at SAGU with Sam, and a great honor for him to walk away from today as Homecoming King. Thank you, Kristen, for that interview with, again, Sam Brodus. And we see Wayland Baptist kicking it off from the 45. That's not a mistake. From the 45-yard line after the really combined effort of an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and then an illegal formation penalty. The kick is up, and they get on top of it, and he is walloped. Looked like he may have ducked underneath it just enough, did Jeremy Carr.
So the penalty, the 5-yard penalty essentially results in a 5-yard shift of where they received the ball. Now under 13 to play, and if you're SAGU's offense, you might want to try to kill some clock here. Get some clock off the board. See another replay here, just a little bit too much strength on that. You try to get to the second level, but you know that you've got a second guy down there with a, Jeremy Carr who can make that easy reception. So
CJ Collins back out onto the field. He's got Ricky Bickham with him in the backfield. Still have the starters in there.
And at this point, you want to try to give your defense some time off.
Here is Bickham looking to rush it up the middle. He's not going to find much room, but moves the pile forward. A good 5-yard carry, maybe 4 or 5-yard carry on first down.
And again, if you don't think there's anything at stake right now in this game with 12 and a half minutes left, 32 points, don't forget, you're a ranked team right now. You are a ranked team. And if you let this game end up being a 56-38 game, that's going to look a lot less impressive to people who are deciding how far you rise in the polls this week.
Absolutely.
And if you can hang on and, obviously put up some more points, and you're not looking to run the score up or, you rub it in by his face, but you want to look as good as you can against a solid conference opponent.
Hands it off to Bickham again. Hits that hole hard, and he pushes the pile past the first down marker, and that's going to give SAGU a first down, and they are doing exactly what you said, trying to kill this clock. But another flag comes in at the end of this play.
You'll see just maybe some extra shoving. It's hard to see who it's going to be on.
The officials have done a lot of conferring today, a lot of talking.
We have a personal foul. Number 59 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 59 is ejected.
Second player ejected. Marlon Banks is going to be ejected from this one.
And when you hear the ejection, usually it's a punch thrown there at the end of the play.
And so another, obviously in the first quarter, it was Denzel Bradford who got the hook.
I'm being told it was a kick, not a punch. And that's going to get you thrown out 11 times out of 10.
You can get away with shoves, you can get away with things like that, but if you actually do anything that's just intentionally harmful, especially in a game that is kind of out of hand and the refs know that, as teams get frustrated, it can go a little bit further. Quick hook, get it all over with.
J.P. Lowry enters the game as Ricky Bickham heads to the sideline, a little shaken up. Collins takes a snap. He's going to hand it. Oh, he's going to fake the handoff out to Justin Allen. Didn't get it quite out on the out route enough, and it's broken up.
It's Braylon Herman who's going to break up the pass. And another 15 yards, hard even, got time to talk about another 15 yards of penalties against Wayland.
SAGU facing a 2nd and 10 on the 44, again in Wayland Baptist territory.
And that's going to put them near 100 yards for the game now. Wayland Baptist when it comes to the penalties, which is right about what they average.
At their average, yep.
And there's still 11 minutes to play, so plenty of time to get there.
Collins hands it off to Lowry. Lowry looking to the left side, keeping the legs churning, but he's finally able to be brought down. Looked like he may have dragged the defender with him, but the defender, a good job to wrap up and secure that tackle after a gain of 1.
Brings up a 3rd and long at the Wayland 43.
Collins patiently awaiting the play call, and they are milking the clock here. Just about under 10.5 left to play in the 4th quarter. Collins still in the shotgun. Lowry to his right, Shelby at the H-back. Collins takes the snap, hands it off to Lowry. Lowry makes a cut, and he stays on his feet, pushing the pile. J.P. Lowry gets the first down after he was stopped short of the marker.
Well, we'll see. One ref is indicating that he's down back around the 38. We'll see here. Wrapped up. Oh, he's never down.
He's never down at all. J.P. Lowry showing good wherewithal to keep the feet moving.
The side judge is ruling him down at the 38. He wasn't down.
Not even close.
He stayed on his feet. But from the sideline, let's just try to see here if maybe his elbow went down. From this angle, his knees are in the air, his knees are in the air.
They may be calling his elbow down.
But I don't think it hit. I don't think it hit. Yeah. His elbow was blocked by the leg. I guess it's a tough call from that point of view. When you see from that point of view, you think his elbow must have gone down, but it in fact didn't.
Montiel rolls out to his right. He's going to kick it again. That rugby-style kick lands at the 22. We'll see where they mark it out of bounds. They're going to mark it right at the 20, so essentially a touchback.
And now, Wayland Baptist, who have scored on their last 3 possessions, will be getting the ball back with 9 minutes left. And again, they've done it all in essentially the last 6 minutes of this game. In the last 6 minutes, the very end of the 3rd quarter, and then the start of the 4th quarter, they turned what was a 49-3 ball game into now 56-24, looking to do some more damage late.
A handoff to Peterson. Peterson runs into a lineman, tries to bounce it outside. He fumbles the ball. SAGU picks it up, and they're going to call him down by contact. It looked like that ball came out before Peterson was down.
We'll see it right here. He's fighting, and that's awfully close because he was extending. The ground definitely did not cause the fumble. It got batted out while he was extending forward. As we have a Pioneer down, it looks like it's Darian Flores. You see him cut inside here. He's gonna reach, trying to get every yard he can. He's not down, he's not down, he's not down, he's not down. That's super close, but I don't think he was down. That could have been a Lions scoop and score.
A couple of breaks for the Pioneers.
Correction, that was Keaton Vodder who was down.
Couple of breaks as the J.P. Lowry rolled down when he was not, forces SAGU to punt, and then a fumble called down by contact for the Pioneers allows them to keep the ball here. 2nd and 6.
Would have been the 4th turnover of the game for the Pioneers, but they get to stay at 3.
Campos back to pass, looking out to that right flat. He's got his man. He's got a lot of room, no one around him. Tries to get around the edge, but he's pushed out of bounds by Elijah Pruitt. Daniel Hearn getting his first grab of the day.
And he gets wide open underneath here. The SAGU defense that was just so good through the first 2 quarters and 14 minutes has really struggled here late in the game.
Peterson takes the handoff, and he hits the pile and falls forward for maybe a yard on first down.
Peterson slowly closing in on 100 yards rushing. Michael Romero already had 150 yards rushing on the game. And Deshaun Johnson, their leading rusher, he went out with an injury in the first quarter. We have not seen him since.
Campos on 2nd and 9, gonna hit the delayed handoff again, and he's brought down by the ankles. Good tackle by the SAGU linebacker, Josh Richter.
And if you ever question how important a first half is to go ahead and get that big lead, imagine if this wasn't a 32-point lead right now with everything going Wayland Baptist's way.
3rd and short, 3rd and 2. He's going to hit him with another delayed handoff, and he's got some room to run. Here's Peterson up the middle of the field trying to get past Kobe Roach, brought down by Elijah Pruitt after a huge run on 3rd and short.
And that'll put him over 100 yards. Gets the big gap and just nothing but daylight at this point. Nobody within sight. And he just knows he's probably not going to get the end zone, tries to fake him out with the shoulders before finally getting dragged down around the 17-yard line. It's all working now for Wayland Baptist.
Wayland Baptist in the red zone. Campos with 3 to his right. Back to pass. And he's going to get hit as he throws, but finds his man, and he weaves his way into the end zone. And who else? Again, leading receiver for Wayland Baptist, Jeremiah Eaton.
Eaton is having himself a ball game, and another great throw by Danny Campos, getting dragged down before he gets rid of it. Wayland Baptist crosses 30 points. They have scored 28 points in the last just a little over 8 minutes. And boy, do those possessions that you end up getting no points in SAGU territory in the first half. As the kick is up and good. On your first drive, you punted in SAGU territory when things fell apart after a holding penalty. On your 4th drive, you had an interception to SAGU territory. Your 5th drive, you had to settle for a field goal in SAGU territory. Your 7th drive, you were driving down the field and you fumbled on that big run. So that is it was 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the first half that you got into SAGU territory and had to settle for 3 points. And now you've scored 4 straight touchdowns. You actually had a turnover on downs in SAGU territory in the 3rd quarter. So it's all been going wrong for you early on, and now that you finally turned the corner, it's too late at this point. You're still down 25 points with 7 minutes to go. I mean, that would be unbelievably stunning to see that happen. But early, SAGU has to really look back at this game hard now and think about the fact that you take away a couple of those breaks, those bailouts that Coach Christie called them.
Absolutely.
This would be a nail biter right now. This would not only be a nail biter. If you just start subtracting an interception or a punt or two, this could easily be a Wayland Baptist lead.
We've seen SAGU bobble a couple of these onside kick attempts. In fact, turning it over one time after a pooch kick, and he looks like he's setting up again to kick it to that left side, right side if you're SAGU. Here's Martinez, a lot of guys up for the Lions. And it kicks it off the ground. Carl Morgan goes up to get it, and a great job by the SAGU senior to high point the ball and bring it down in a crowd of Pioneers.
That was a very well executed onside kick. Goes real high, gives you guys plenty of times to get there.
That's a pretty good onside kick by Martinez.
Yeah.
He gave his guys a fair shot at it.
Very, very well placed. So now SAGU will take over at the 47-yard line. Again, still safely in the lead, but man, there's been nothing that you've liked, minus the 1 touchdown pass to Jeremy Carr. Man, if you didn't have that touchdown pass to Jeremy Carr, Wayland Baptist would have been going for 2-point conversions the last few drives. This could be a 2-score game with 7 minutes to go.
Absolutely, it could. Collins still in the game. Bickham in the backfield. Bickham takes a carry, or takes a handoff rather, and he fights forward with the pile past the first down marker. That's something we see J.P. Lowry do. Ricky Bickham this time hitting the pile and keeping the legs going for a first down.
And Barry Lyons of the Pioneers comes out with the ball. I'm pretty sure he was well down before that. Yeah, Bickham goes down, and then Lyons is going to finally force it out. Down to the 42-yard line.
And you'd think the Lions would be content with letting the rest of this play clock run down. About 20 seconds left on the play clock. And they are now just getting into formation. Collins, Shelby at the H-back, Bickham to his left. Two out wide to his right, or to his left rather. Collins hands it off to Bickham. Bickham cuts it up inside and picks up about 4 on the first yard carry.
This is just when you want to let the running backs take over the game. Keep the clock moving, hang on to the ball. Under 6 minutes to play now. Just keep going. Get to the final gun of this one and you know, be very happy with all things that went right, that you did well, but then very much acknowledge that 25 points definitely is a little more lopsided than this one could have been.
Absolutely, as C.J. Collins thought we may have seen Ty Francis here towards the end of the ball game, but the Pioneers kept scoring and scoring and scoring as Bickham takes a handoff, runs into the pile. Looks like he's going to come up short of the first down. It's going to be a 3rd and 4. We expected to see Ty Francis in there when SAGU got that 49th point, and it was a huge lead, but Wayland Baptist not going away quietly as forced C.J. Collins to remain in the game to milk this clock out. 3rd and 4 exactly. Under 5 to play. Play clock now coming up on 10 seconds. Looks like they're going to try to get the play off. Collins. Shotgun, Bickham to his right. And he's going to hand it off, and Bickham is swallowed up quickly for a loss. That's going to bring up 4th down, and SAGU is going to send out the punting unit as Maverick Montiel looks to potentially, for the first time really today, try to pin them deep, try to get that rugby-style punt into the corner.
He just hasn't made, you know, maybe it's been when he's had the opportunities, it's usually been into the wind, but he has not really converted it. If you need more proof that football is such a week-to-week sport, one of the keys in the beginning of the game was that Wayland struggles so much in the second half. They're outscored 21-8 as an average. At the moment, the second half is 28-28. Wayland has matched SAGU blow for blow, and now about to get the ball back with the chance to, at the very least, win the second half.
Low line drive kick, and it's going to settle
That's more
at
like
the
it.
4-yard line, and that is what we're used to seeing from Montiel on the opponent's side of the field, able to pin them deep at the 4 under 4 minutes left to play.
Yeah, like I said, just plenty to talk about now for the Lions, and if you're the defense, you want to go ahead and try to end this game with a stop. You don't want to end this game with 5 straight touchdowns going into a huge matchup. Head over to Fort Worth again with Bacone now leading Texas Wesleyan in that one late in the 4th quarter.
Wayland Baptist takes control on offense here from the 4-yard line. Campos is back to pass, and heavy pressure. He gets hit, he's going deep, and that ball is going to be off the hands of his intended receiver. Threw it into double coverage between Xavier Pittman and Kobe Roach.
Just had to get rid of that one, too.
Looking for Braylon Kirby, and he had the defensive line breathing heavily down his neck that time. Barely gets rid of it, and we can see Campos limping around back there after that hit.
He definitely took his time getting back up after taking a real hard hit in the end zone.
Campos now in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Peterson. Romero, rather. He's going to get a little bit of breathing room here for the offense, bringing up 3rd down, and let's call it 5. Third and 5 for Danny Campos. And he's going to hand it off to Romero again, and Romero is stuffed at the line. They're going to say he pushed it forward for about 2 yards, bringing up 4th and short here. And we don't see any movement on the Wayland Baptist sideline. It looks like they're going to keep the team out here to go for it.
Absolutely not. You got to go ahead and keep plugging away here. Try to finish this game on this real strong note, especially when so far SAGU hasn't proved they can stop you up the middle right now.
Campos in the shotgun, Romero to his left. Hands it off to Romero, looking for running room and can't find it. That's going to be another turnover on downs, as SAGU is going to take control with about 2.5 left to play here in the game. And they look to maybe just run the clock out.
It'll be hard not to score in this situation. At this point, it'll be actually tough not to get in the end zone when you're this close. And we'll see who comes out to finish the game off here with 2:37 remaining. SAGU up 56-31. Again, still a, score is going to look okay. You put up 56 on homecoming. You delivered a nice big win for your fans. You're about to move to 5-1. That's only going to be the 3rd time in program history you've hit 5 total wins. And you're going to move to 4-0 in conference play. You're going to top last year's win total. So it's all still good. It's all still good. You just know you got a lot to fix up. And looks like we will see some different looks here as the Lions are going to come out in the Wildcat.
As we see Justin Allen, who again, he's got 2 rushing touchdowns today. I would not be surprised to see him throw it here. I know he can. And he's just going to tuck it and run, try to bounce it to the outside. No running room. He's brought down after no gain. Going to call him down at the 9. Still going to be 2nd and goal.
And it looks like, as we have whistles,
Wayland Baptist looks like they may have called a timeout.
And maybe running this Wildcat formation is just your way of running the ball without putting your quarterback out there at all at this point. Just keep the game moving, but not even have to worry about a quarterback situation. As Wayland will call timeout, trying to get the ball back one more time in this one. As we look ahead to the Lions' next game, it will be on the road against the Oklahoma Panhandle State University Aggies. The first time this Lions will play them as a conference opponent. We have played them a number of times before, but never as a conference opponent. OPSU has a huge showdown tonight against Arizona Christian that could really determine what direction this conference is going to go. Arizona Christian, if they're going to stay alive in the conference, needs to beat OPSU tonight, and obviously OPSU wants that win big time. And then we'll be back home for back-to-back weeks, the weeks after that, against a bunch of Lions. A bunch of Lions. The Lion College and then the Langston Lions coming in here. It'll just be 2 straight weeks of nothing but Lions. And that could be, well, really, OPSU and Langston, those are the 2 games you look at against the 2 best teams remaining. And that's where it's going to get interesting. That's when it's going to get very, very interesting where the season goes.
And we see Justin Allen in this Wildcat again. Heavy backfield. Sam Northey and Matt Leiter in there. He's going to tuck it and run. Good block by Lowry, trying to cut it back inside. Good job of staying in bounds by Justin Allen, forcing Wayland Baptist to have to use, yes, they're going to use their 2nd timeout.
And it's a tough decision because you might think there might be more yards, and there's more yards and fewer hits on the outside possibly, but the smart thing to do is just duck your head back in, settle for what you have, and bring up a 3rd and goal from the 5. As Wayland will continue to try to get the ball back one more time. And they will get the ball back barring a penalty because the Lions don't have a first down to get. So it'll either be a score or a field goal attempt coming up here pretty soon. Or actually, I imagine you might just go for it on 4th down rather than try to bring your kicker out and everything. Just go for it on 4th down. You either make it or you pin Wayland real deep with no timeouts. Try not to let them put up any more points in the closing moments of this game. As again, Coach Tristan will have a lot to think about, a lot to talk about in this game. You're real happy. 56-31 at the moment victory on homecoming. Big win against a team is solid at coming out of Wayland. But like I said, flip a couple of coins in the first half, and this is a very interesting game late. It's not just trying to make sure the scoreboard stays pretty. It's trying to make sure there's still a win on the board.
Absolutely.
SAGU does not want to put themselves in this kind of situation again where you're relying on the mistakes of others to win.
Justin Allen going to tuck and run again, bounce it to the outside, looking for the corner,
It's
and
a trio.
he's going to find it. Justin Allen with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. Barring a TH extra point, making it 63-31. And I know it's just a touchdown difference, but 63-31 looks a lot better.
Anytime you can drop 60 on anybody, it looks good. And how about Justin Allen? 3 rushing touchdowns on the day.
5 touchdowns in his last 2 games.
The Lions, out of their 9 total touchdowns, 7 of those are going to be rushing touchdowns.
We have a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 61 on the offense, taunting. Be a 15-yard penalty. Be assessed on the kickoff.
That's Dane Macklin who's going to get the taunting penalty. And so SAGU will be kicking off from their own 20 as, I mean, like I told these guys pregame, don't wear out the refs' arms. And they did not oblige. Both teams have given the refs plenty of reasons.
A ton of penalties between the both of these teams as TH's extra point is up and good.
Another perfect day for TH, 9 for 9. Even though he's missed 1, his accuracy rating just keeps on climbing in every game. That happens when you score this many touchdowns and you're that reliable from the extra point positioning. So now just over 2 minutes remaining. SAGU will be kicking off. Wayland should have 1 timeout remaining as they'll try to cut into this score late. Try to make it 35 points scored in the second half. As they've definitely found some offensive answers here, which has to be good for them going forward. They have to feel pleased with that going forward. For Wayland, they'll be hosting Bacone next week at home, so definitely want to build some momentum going into that game, a very winnable game. Build up some confidence.
And they'll definitely have good field position here. As SAGU, like you said, they're going to kick it off from the 20-yard line.
With the wind in their face. And, you know, TH is a good kicker, but with the wind this stiff, there's really not much way you can do it. I imagine Wayland's going to be taking this ball over at around their own 40, and that's about a worst-case scenario, I'd say.
If he doesn't pooch it here, we'll see. TH sets the ball up here. And he is going to attempt to kick it deep, end over end, hauled in at about the 40 by one of the up men, and he is clobbered at the 40 by number 13, Stephen Free, the wide receiver. Free gets free.
About to say, coming down the field, when the ball's up in the air that long, it gives you plenty of time, and no one ever laid a hand on him. So he's going to hold him back at the 35-yard line. So the 15-yard penalty really only results, well, honestly, with the wind at your face, you probably would have pushed it down around the 35-yard line anyway. So no real harm done. Wayland now with 2 minutes left.
Back to pass is Campos. Deep drop. He's looking deep. Elijah Pruitt there in coverage, and Pruitt is going to come down with the interception. And you got to believe that that is going to do it as the Lions can effectively run out the clock as Elijah Pruitt.
That will be the icing on the cake right there, and fitting as well, because it was 2 interceptions in the first quarter that turned an otherwise normal game into a SAGU blowout, and now it's an interception to officially end it. The Lions will be coming out for some victory formation, I imagine, as Wayland does not have enough timeouts to prevent the end of this one, and the homecoming crowd is going to get their victory, barring anything crazy here, 63-31. The second time the Lions have put 60 up on the board this year. The offense continues to click on all cylinders, and with the defense having some problems in the second half, you can't forget the fact that the offense has put up 35 points, and now 7 of it came because of some desperation, fourth down conversion stuff down here. But either way, The offense puts up 28 in the first half, 35 in the second. You still got to love what this offense is doing. You still got to love a 32-point win on homecoming.
Absolutely. Ty Francis in at quarterback now for the Lions, and he's just going to
they're going to hand
it off. And I believe that is still Ricky Bickham in the game.
He's going to get thrown for a bit of a loss, and clock will run, but SAGU not just going victory formation.
Collins is actually going to head back into the game. As Ty Francis steps off, it's going to be second and we'll call it 14.
That might have been one of those situations where there was just enough separation on the clock that you needed to run a play to burn the extra seconds off of it to guarantee that you could run the clock out. And now you might bring Collins in to take the kneels. Yeah, now you'll bring Collins in and take the kneels. I think that was just some coach calculation to say, you know what, we need to burn around 3 or 4 seconds off the clock during a play to actually get the clock to hit 0. And so now it will just be another kneel down away from SAGU, moving to 5-1 officially. And as he mentioned, that's only going to be, I believe, the 3rd time in program history that this team has hit the 5-win mark, hit that guaranteed 500. But they're thinking way bigger than 500 right now. They're thinking you're 4 games away, 4 wins away from a outright conference championship and very likely a trip to the NAIA national playoffs.
Absolutely. Collins is going to take the last snap, take the knee, and that will do it as the teams will meet at center field at the 50-yard line, shake hands, and do whatever they do after the game at walking away with the Lions. A 63-31 win on homecoming Saturday. Always nice to win on homecoming. You always want to walk away. That's one of the most important games of the year, and the Lions had it the whole way and walk away 63-31 victors.
Who are you going to play of the game here? Got to ask you. There's a lot, obviously, this much scoring. Who would be your player of the game?
I was looking on the defensive side of the ball, but the second half pointed me the other way. I gotta go JP Lowry. 3 touchdowns, but you can't discredit anything that Bickham did. He may not have the 3 touchdowns, but he got them down there.
Bickham was your leading rusher on the game, while JP Lowry was your leading touchdown getter. Look at the final stats here. SAGU, look at that, 485 total yards for the Pioneers. SAGU barely winning the yards battle. Penalty-wise, a lot of penalties on both sides. SAGU and Wayland both struggling on 3rd downs in this game. Like I said, a game that the Lions only win, they win by more points than they do yards. They win by 24 points, so by 32 points and 24 yards. Need to clean that up on defense for sure. 258 rushing yards for Wayland Baptist. 300 passing yards for C.J. Collins. He goes over 300, had some beautiful touchdown passes in there as well. So a lot to like all across the board. You know what? You'll say Lowry, I'll say Bickham. We'll cover them both.
And an important thing to note here for C.J. Collins, no turnovers.
No turnovers. And that's not on the screen right now, but Wayland in all turned the ball over 4 times, while SAGU only had 1 turnover, the muffed kickoff. And really, honestly, Wayland had more than 4 turnovers. If you were to factor in things like the 2 turnover on downs,
blocked punt,
and the blocked punt.
Yep.
Those things act essentially as turnovers in the grand scheme of a game. So, but the final official tally is 4 Wayland turnovers to 1 SAGU turnover. So you win the turnover battle, you barely win the yards battle, but you win it. 3rd downs, you do another solid job right there, 4 out of 15. So that's right at about 1 and 4, so a little bit above what you usually allow, but you know, still nothing out of control. You kept getting Wayland off the field. So now, like I said, 5-1. 5-1. You're right where you need to be. 5-1 on the season, and the most important thing is that bracket you see on the left, 4-0 in conference, with some other big games going on tonight.
Arizona Christian, of course, playing host to Oklahoma Panhandle State tonight at about 9 o'clock Central Time. So keep an eye on that game. It'll be updated throughout the evening, throughout various social medias. I'm sure that SAGU Sports Network at least the Twitter will be looking at the scoring updates as we go through from the Arizona Christian Twitter, kind of what we do. Let you know how that game is going, because that is a very pivotal game here in the CSFL.
Yeah, with Arizona Christian still having to play Langston, with Langston still coming here, with SAGU still going to Oklahoma Panhandle State, there's still so many moving pieces right now. But guess what? You have done what you had to do so far.
And that's always first in the book. First check mark needs to be win your game, and then do a little bit of scoreboard watching, which I'm sure the Lions will do tonight. Again, as that game, 9 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Time. That's where they're playing out there in Arizona. See Coach Tristan all smiles. He's all smiles right now, but you know that there is things that have to be worked on. He's talking right now to Maverick Montiel. That's one of them. Montiel in the first half struggled to punt the ball, and I know we're maybe reaching a little bit to talk about the punting game, but that has to be fixed.
Well, because it opened up avenues. It opened up avenues that early in the game Wayland was unable to capitalize off of. They were unable to capitalize on all those little avenues they were given. If they had, as we've said a dozen times here in this fourth quarter, this is a 32-point win. It's a lopsided win. It's a nice homecoming win. But man, oh man, you just changed, 2 or 3 things in the first half, and it would have been a nail-biting homecoming win. It would have been, panic. It would have been, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, don't let this happen. So definitely a lot to clean up. Like I said, you got to play some really good teams coming up, whether it's Oklahoma Panhandle or Langston. You got some really good teams coming up.
Don't sleep on Lyon either. Lyon stole a win from from SAGU last season.
They stole a win from you, exactly. So, a lot to improve on, and that's what the best teams do. The best teams get better after wins. A mediocre team learns from losses. A great team learns from wins.
Learns from wins, absolutely.
And that's what the Lions have the ability to do right now.
All smiles right now for Coach Tristan and this SAGU Lions team, but they will be 100% back to business come Monday morning as they enjoy the win for now, but eyes forward. OPSU, they are next, and you've got to prepare, because they very well may be both 4-0 in conference play after this week, meeting next week and going on the road.
Yeah, that could be huge, absolutely huge, what you're able to pull off next week.
We're going to hear from CJ Collins, who is with our sideline reporter, Kristen Urban. Kristen, how does CJ feel about this big homecoming victory?
Thanks, Adam. CJ, impressive win over Wayland Baptist. What was clicking for you and the team today?
It was a good overall win for us. We played well. Defense played fast. We moved the ball offensively through different times of the game, and came out with a win.
How do you plan on carrying this momentum into your next away game against Oklahoma Panhandle State?
Next one's a big one for us. We're playing in the Panhandle, Oklahoma. Who knows what the weather's going to be, the altitude, and it's going to be a different atmosphere for us. It's going to challenge us in many ways.
Thanks, CJ, and congratulations on this win. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, CJ. That's a good point by the SAGU quarterback. You never know what the weather's going to be like in that Panhandle.
Yeah. And anytime you go on the road against a team that you know is that good, there's going to be all kind of factors. So we'll be glued to the updates next Saturday.
Absolutely. I will have DAC stats refreshing every 5 or 6 seconds, I think, next Saturday. As for the SAGU Sports Network, our next broadcast is not that far away. It's actually this upcoming Tuesday. The SAGU Lady Lions volleyball team, who seem to just continue to keep winning behind Jessica Sodich and Callie Shaw, and really the young Lions team, as Coach Morris said. They play this upcoming Tuesday night against Texas Wesleyan, which will be a good one. Up until last week, Texas Wesleyan had 1 loss on the season, and it came at the hands of the Lady Lions. So the Lady Rams coming in here looking for a little redemption. We'll have that game for you. It'll be a good one this upcoming Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m., pregame at 6:55. Go ahead and tune in. I'm Adam Ferguson for my partner Tim Roberts, for our entire student crew, and our sideline reporter Kristen Urban. You have watched the SAGU Sports Network.